Pop the top, it's time for another video to drop, and today we're bringing you guys the third edition of the Impact Wrestling 2017 TW 2016 series. So it's March, week 3. Let's go ahead and get right on into this week's episode of Impact Wrestling. We kick things off, as you can see we have a new banner. We kick things off here, and it's basically just a little intro video package featuring Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards' No Disqualification Match. It's kind of like a highlight video. And it also shows off EC3 and Cody Rhodes' confrontation from last week. And then we find out from Josh Matthews and the Pope that Dutch Mantel has given Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards the night off after their vicious no disqualification match last week. They got a 64C. That did pretty good I think. So let's go ahead and go on to the next segment. We kick things off here on Impact with a big X Division match to kick things off. And it debuts 2 new stars, and about that, a terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat. Phoenix defeated ACH in 10 minutes and 11 seconds by pinfall with a meteor. This got a 31E+. Phoenix has debuted his classic technical gimmick. He got an initial rating of poor. ACH debuted his fan favorite gimmick, got an initial rating of very good, so that's good. Phoenix definitely outperformed ACH. Just another way to get more X Division talent, because that is something that we're really lacking right now. When I go and look at the roster, just a lot of X Division talent is lacking. So we're building up the X Division brand again. We have Phoenix, we have ACH now. It's good to know. Following that, though, Gregory Helms and Trevor Lee come out to the stage, mic in hand for Gregory Helms, and he says that, listen guys, listen. Phoenix, you might be good. ACH, you might be better. Or vice versa. I really wasn't watching in the back. I had better things to do, like scheduling up Trevor Lee's next photo shoot. But you know what? You'll never be as good as Trevor Lee. He is the X Division champion. He is at the top of the mountain for this division for a reason. And that reason is because no one will ever take the title away from him. And then they both leave, and it's kind of just like, well, you didn't really have to come out here on this segment to say that. I'm just saying. And then Phoenix and ACH shake hands, showing some respect. They got a 47D. Good stuff. Following that, Braxton Sutter is backstage with Allie. Allie, of course, has a lot of cuts and bruises from the vicious attacks she received last week from Laurel Van Ness and Leva Bates, the debuting Leva Bates. Braxton Sutter now is asking Allie pretty much what happened. Do you remember who attacked you? Do you know if it was Laurel, etc., etc., etc.? And Allie basically is like, yes, it was Laurel, but there was someone else too. Braxton doesn't know who. He's kind of freaking out a bit. It's got a 50D+. Just a little stuff to keep the Allie and Laurel storyline going. Following that, we have Madison Rayne taking on the Knockouts champion Rosemary, and about that at Subpar Wrestling in Little Heat, Rosemary defeated Madison Rayne in 10 minutes and 23 seconds by pinfall with an Olympic slam. This got a 42D. The announcement quality lifted the match. Rosemary definitely got outperformed by a couple points by Madison Rayne, but nevertheless, we go after this, and Decay is now in the ring. They're talking about the TNA Tag Team Championships once again. Rosemary basically saying that Decay will take the titles once again. They will hold 3 titles in this company. All 3 members holding gold, because that is exactly what Decay needs, because Decay will kill Impact Wrestling until they get the gold, because Decay is going to become killers. And that's when they get cut off, and you hear like a microphone being tapped on, and all of a sudden you hear a man's voice say, Decay is for killers. Oh, no, but Ohio is for killers. And that's when Sami Callihan, Dave Christ, and Jake Christ all come out on stage. Callihan, mic in hand, basically about to go off on a promo, just grabbing his microphone and going along the lines of saying that you guys think that you're going to win the TNA Tag Team Championship, or the Impact, I keep saying TNA, god damn it, the Impact Wrestling Tag Team Championships, but you're not. Because Ohio is for killers. OI4K is here, and OI4K will become Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions. Now, I myself, you see, I'm not gunning for gold right away. But my brothers, Dave and Jake, you see, they're gunning for gold. So next week, you see, if you guys think that you're going to be the tag team champions, why don't you face the real tag team champions, the uncrowned tag team champions, Dave and Jake. And that's when Rosemary basically just lets out like one of the hysteric laughs that she does, and basically agrees that, so next week we know that it will be Abyss and Crazy Steve versus Dave and Jake Christ. And Sami Callihan, Dave Christ, and Jake Christ all have just made their debut. Is Impact Wrestling now for killers? Who knows? They got a 61C. Following that, we have Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes coming down backstage in a hallway, we hear that Cody is in action next. I got a 56 C-. After that, in a decent match, Cody defeated Robbie E in 12 minutes and 25 seconds by pinfall with a beautiful disaster. Just something to help Cody out. They got a 59 C. Following that, though, Cody Rhodes is bragging. EC3 comes down the ramp, slides in the ring, takes down Cody Rhodes. They start brawling basically all around the ring. They brawl out to the ringside area, and that's when Brandy Rhodes, with a steel chair in hand, cracks EC3 in the back and then drops the chair. She's kind of not wanting to do it, but she helped out Cody. She helped out her husband. Cody just nodded, like rubs his head a bit, and then scrams, grabs Randy by the wrist, and just tugs her backstage, trying to get the hell out of Dodge before EC3 recovers. They got a 59C. Good stuff. After that, Dutch Mantel finds Gregory Helms and Trevor Lee backstage, and Dutch laughs and looks at Trevor and says, "You're in action tonight." And that's when Gregory cuts him off and says, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. You never said anything about my boy Trevor Lee being in action before the show started." And Dutch Mantel just cuts him off and says, "Yeah, but I kind of run things here. So I get to do that on the fly." And after hearing you guys talk earlier and saying that anytime, any place, anywhere you guys can win, well, how about Trevor Lee defends his X Division title tonight? And I'll find someone in the back who's ready and willing to face you. How about that? For the X Division title. And Gregory basically is losing his mind now, but finally he gets his cool and says, "You know what? All right, I'll just prove, Trevor will just prove that he's the Ali. How about that? How about that, Dutch? That's why you're in a wheelchair." And then they storm off, and Dutch just looks at him and says, "Really?" And I got a 48D+. Following that, we have Grotto versus Grado. I think it's Grado. I fuck up with names so much. Grado versus Eddie Kingston. In a terrible match, Eddie Kingston defeats Grado in 9 minutes and 54 seconds by pinfall with a backdrop driver. Something to help Eddie Kingston out. That got a 41D. Following this, though, Eddie Kingston continues the assault on Grado. That's when James Storm hits the ring and hits a last call on Eddie Kingston before walking over and pulling out a cowboy hat from underneath the ring and putting it on his head. James Storm is back with the people, my friend. He is the redneck once again. And he got a below average on the gimmick. God damn it. The turn was a complete success, though, so now James Storm's babyface. Following this, we get a little hype package for Bobby Lashley and Jake Hager. As you know, tonight in the main event, they will face non-title, of course, and Jake Hager's Impact Wrestling debut. That got a 67C+. Following this, Gregory Shane Helms and Trevor Lee now make their way down to the ring, and Gregory, with the microphone in hand, says, listen, I don't care that Dutch Mantel wants to see Trevor in action for his X Division Championship. Because Trevor will beat anybody. They can beat him twice even. It doesn't matter. Because Trevor Lee will walk out tonight with the X Division Championship over his shoulder if it is my last damn wish. And he throws down the microphone and turns and motions for the stage to come on out. And as he's getting out of the ring, Trevor now with the title X Division Championship over his shoulder, looking at the stage, ready to see who he's going to be facing for the title. That got a 43D. And of course, he is facing the debuting in Impact Wrestling, Matt Sydal, for the X Division title. And about that, at Subpar Wrestling in Little Heat, Trevor Lee defeated Matt Sydal in 14 minutes and 18 seconds by pinfall. During the match, we saw Gregory Helms basically get up on the apron and shake the top rope just a little bit. He did it subtly. He got on the apron right as Matt Sydal was scaling to the top rope. The ref came over to Gregory Helms and said, "You got to get off the apron." And Gregory said, okay, and jumped down. But as he did, he caught the top rope, and it made Sydal's balance get lost for just a split second, which gave Trevor Lee enough time to jump up to his feet and catch Sydal with a Rana, and then basically hit him after that with the jumping standing double foot stomp, which led to Sydal getting pinned for the 3. So Sydal didn't lose clean. He debuted. He didn't lose clean. But, you know, that's what happens in the X Division when you got someone working at ringside. And I got a 45D. So Matt Sydal is officially in Impact Wrestling in the X Division because, you know, we got to build up that X Division talent. After this, Aaron Rex and Rockstar Spud come down to the ring, and Aaron Rex, with microphone in hand, basically goes along the lines of saying that last week he defeated Penta L0M because he still has a championship. Penta L0M is not your champion because I still have the title. But I don't need to prove myself because of that any longer with said Skeleton Man. So I will never ever face Penta L0M again because there's no reason for me to. And that's when Rockstar Spud basically like freaks out because all of a sudden he sees Penta L0M running, like walking down the stage, and he's smacking Rex on the shoulder saying, boss, 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 he's in the ring! And that's when Penta just charges and drops Rockstar Spud with a big lariat. Aaron Rex turns, boom, catches Aaron Rex with an enziguri. Penta L0M grabs the Grand Championship, raises it in the air, and then he cracks Rockstar Spud in the head with the title, rolls Rockstar Spud over, grabs Spud into the arm breaker, and completely hits it. Spud rolling around, flailing in the ring, saying, my arm's broken, my arm's broken. And Aaron Rex now is freaking out, goes to grab his title, but Penta puts his foot on the title and cracks Aaron Rex right in the jaw with a forearm, bends down, grabs the Grand Championship, puts it over his shoulder, and then walks out of the ring. Penta L0M has taken the Impact Grand Championship by force. He never lost last week. Is that really a bad thing? He never lost. So that got a 63C. Following this, Braxton Sutter is backstage, of course, in the room with Allie, checking on Allie, when all of a sudden a knock on the door is heard. Braxton goes over to the door, opens it up, and Leva Bates, who Braxton Sutter doesn't know if she attacked Allie last week or not, he sees her right there, and Leva basically just hands him a note and says, thank you, that'll be all, and then turns around and walks off. Of course, Leva Bates' hand still blood-stained from Allie. So Braxton kind of gets an uneasy feeling, and then he looks at the note, and it says it's from Laurel. So he opens the note when the door's still open. That's when Allie calls out, who was it? And that's when Braxton says no one and puts the note back into his pocket. So he doesn't even tell Allie about the note, and he shuts the door. So they got a 50D+. Following this, we head to our main event in a decent match. Lashley defeated Jake Hager in 14 minutes and 5 seconds by pinfall with a spear. This did come, however, after Lashley pulled the ref in the way whenever Jake Hager was about to go for a double leg takedown on Lashley near the end of the match. So it wasn't the cleanest of victories for Lashley, but Lashley does still come out on top in this no disqualification, or in this number one contender basically match, because if Jake would have won, he would have had the title shot. So Lashley pretty much protects his title shot, or his title being challenged for. It's got a 58C-. Following this, though, Jake Hager gets back to his feet after a little bit of selling, and then charges Lashley, takes him down, and starts beating him down, just absolutely destroying Lashley until Lashley finally can roll out of it, countering, going on top of Jake now, throwing some punches, but Jake instantly, basically just uses his wrestling ability to scoop Lashley back around and locks Lashley into a cradle until he starts pounding his face in with his fist. And that's when we have security come out and they break these two up. And Jake says, we're not done by a long shot. And that's how we end Impact Wrestling this week with a 67C+ segment. And a 60. We did worse than episode 2. But it's alright. We had a couple bad. There was only one good match, to be honest, on this show. And I mean, I really wouldn't even call Lashley versus Jake a great match by any means. But that's kind of what happens. We're still working with the flow here of the show. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this episode. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new, because we have daily TW content. And as always, and forever, take it easy, guys.